Hey, what's up? It's the Political Brown Kid here, and I have another doozy for you. This is an article that is on Yahoo Finance. I told y'all I'm into finance, and it's on Market Watch. But if you go to yahoofinance.com, there's an article out there. Let's see when it was posted. It was posted on Tuesday, September 17th at 5:41 a.m. And the article is just basically titled, "He forced me to take Social Security at 62. My husband inherited millions, but never gave me a penny. If I divorce him, would I get any of it?" And so this woman writes that she is, mind you, this woman is 65. So everybody's looking at Judge Mathis is why I'm telling you. And if you've been paying attention to the news or if you read news articles, because they pop up in my news feed all the time, in my Google news feed all the time, they're talking about the silver divorces that happen after 50. This woman is 65 years of age. And she basically writes, she's thinking about divorce. Her husband inherited a few $1 million from his father, and when the father passed away. And she's saying, "Am I entitled to any of that should I choose to divorce? I live in Texas." So she's contemplating divorce, and obviously her going through with this divorce is predicated on if she's going to get some of this money. That's the way I'm reading this article. She wants to be taken care of. And number one, to be honest with you, she's already, once you start thinking about divorcing your spouse, you're checked out. You've checked out. So obviously, if she stays in this marriage, it's not for love. She's obviously out of love with her husband, and she's just ready to leave. But the only thing that's going to determine whether she goes through with it or not is if she can get her hands on this millions of dollars that her husband inherited from his father. And she just basically says she lives in Texas. She doesn't share, the husband doesn't share his information on his bank accounts. That's a good, smart move by that man. Don't share your information. So I have no idea what I would be entitled to. She basically says he forced, once again, I'm telling you all about these women. It's always something where they're being manipulated, where they're being abused. The same thing with this whole Diddy situation. And I've already addressed that in my other things, but everyone's a victim. He forced me to take Social Security at 62. I am 65 now and have been collecting Social Security since I was 62 and a half. And you should. I'm a big proponent of taking Social Security early and often. You do not know when you're going to pass away. I'm not going to sit up here and wait around until I am 72 or whatever age they tell you to wait just so I can get a longer payout. That's that's a poor person's move. I'm just going to be honest with you. Poor people need to wait until they get older to take Social Security, but so they can to maximize how much money they're going to get. But I'm not relying on Social Security to take care of me. I'm going to have other streams of income. But I digress. So then she said she claimed, but she's basically saying her husband forced her to take Social Security. And once again, no one can force you to do that. You either do it or you don't do it. And then she said, I claimed my benefits early because my husband would never give me money to put in my account. And then she says, also, we have 5 rental properties. 2 of the 5 rental properties were inherited, but the rent goes into a joint account. Would I still get half of the rental money every month if I filed for divorce? It's time for a new beginning. What new beginning do you need to have at 65 years of age? You're already dead. You're pretty much dead at 65. Let's just keep it honest. A lot of you women are sitting up here, and a lot of you people sitting up here, oh man, yeah, you still have lives to live. You can still go out and take vacations and enjoy yourself. But at 65, to be honest with you, a new beginning. I mean, not unless that new beginning is just you sitting around, by yourself and wanting some peace from somebody that's kind of bringing negative energy into your life. Okay, fine. If you want to go sit down by yourself and go plant some stuff in your garden, okay, and enjoy the solitude, your last few years that you're going to have in solitude, fine. But I don't understand these people. And so basically, in the article, just to kind of summarize it, the respondent basically says she's not entitled to the inheritance, not unless it went into a joint account. And I was going to address that, and that is actually true. And then also that she wouldn't be entitled to monies from the rental properties, not unless they were in a joint account. And I'm bringing this article up to say this. And then also the respondent also mentions back, this is a form of financial abuse, and financial abuse is also domestic abuse. And once again, it's all about people making other people, and even if this was a woman, even if this was a man looking to divorce his woman and using that whole, they forced me to take this and this is finance. Nobody's fine. Everything in this world nowadays has come to abuse. Now we have mental abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse. Now, we have all kind of abuses going on in this world, and everybody wants to claim it so that they're a victim. But the reason why I'm bringing up this article for anyone, and this is male or female, but I'm mostly speaking to men, because what you see is you don't really see men, and particularly black men, you don't really see men asking for spousal support. You really do not. And you really don't. And that's one thing that I'll say is this. And I've said this before. One thing you don't really hardly see with black women is black women like kind of snitching on their spouse, whether their spouse is black or white or whatever. Black women don't do all that. Like white women will basically try to ruin your whole life and career over whatever, just to be vindictive. They will burn a whole house down just to be vindictive. And black women typically don't do that. Black people, period, we don't do that because, we kind of have that, from what we've been through in our trials and tribulations, we try not to get the law involved too much. And we kind of have that empathy and understanding that we just don't tear things down like that. Now, I will say this. The more and more as time goes by, with every second that goes by on the clock, you see black people starting to act more and more like white people, doing white people type of things. Because black people, especially from my generation, we don't do this type of stuff. And so the other thing that I was going to say too is you don't see black men asking for spousal support. You really don't. Black men don't ask for spousal. Now, a black man, if he's not married to you, there have been, and you can attest to this, black women can attest to this, a black man will sit up in your house, not have a job, and, just live off of you, mooch off of you. But that's the low class black man. If you're dealing with a regular working class black man, for the most part, if you part ways, he's going to go his own way with his own stuff and you take your own stuff. He's going to be amicable. But you're starting to see a lot of black female celebrities like Halle Berry. And I think I saw some news article about that it was a black woman that was on The Bachelorette that married a white man. Those white men will ask for alimony. And rightfully so. I'm not totally against them for doing that. Because if women can ask for alimony, and if they want to live in a modern world where women make more than men and they're better than us, as they proclaim, then they should be able to suffer the same consequences that we do. But this article that I really want to focus on is basically saying this. Just to summarize, this woman is 65. She's ready to divorce her husband. And now what she wants to do at 65, she's basically wavering to say, if I can get my hands on his inheritance that his father gave to him, if I can get some of those millions, then I'm willing to walk away, because I can walk away with his resources and not have to deal with him. And also, if I can walk away with the money from these rental properties, from them 2 extra ones, because the other 3, they're not bringing me in enough money to split. But if I can get the other 2 rental properties that he inherited, once again, from his family, then I'm good and I'm going to walk away. And this is what I'm saying to you fellas. Because one thing too, this white guy, I forget, and I should get this article and post it into this and pin it into this comment section. Rich white people they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And if you guys can look it up, you would have to Google something, but I'm just going to give you the gist of the story. This white guy was married to his wife, and when they got a divorce, he had his stuff tied up so well. And mind you, I'm not a finance person, but I'm just going to just throw something out there. He just had a complex financial situation set up. He had trust within trust within trust. He had so much stuff going on that she couldn't get to it, no matter what state. Even if she lived in the state of California, this woman said she could not get. It was another article. I don't know if it was on Yahoo Finance, but it was another finance article that I received. But he hid his money so well nested in a bunch of trust funds that she couldn't get to his money. And so, therefore, he was able to keep everything that he had. And so, even when you look at Anna Nicole Smith's situation, when she was married to that 82-year-old guy as a 20-something-year-old woman, he basically left everything to his son. Now, mind you, they went to court, and I think she wound up getting something from it, but she didn't get as much as what she thought because most of it went to his son, to his heir. So I'm saying that to say this: when you have stuff that's on the line, if you're in a relationship with someone and you know your family, don't just look and say, okay, what do I have? Okay, I make $50,000 or $80,000 a year, or even if you make $100,000, $200,000 a year, don't just look at it and say, this is what I have and this is what's in my account. You take that into consideration as well, but you need to be thinking, what do my parents have? What do I potentially stand to inherit? And then you need to tell your parents, hey, look, this is what you need to do. This is how this should play out. I've done a video before on telling y'all what to do because, like I said, I didn't anticipate me getting a divorce, but as soon as I did, I had to go to my parents and say, hey, listen, if something were to happen to me, y'all need to have some type of particular trust set up or have some type of legal situation set up that my money passes, that money that would have passed on to me, it goes, just in case if I'm not here, it doesn't just go directly to my children, because I know my children, if they're still minors, then their mother is going to have access and control. And even if they're not minors, even if they're 20s and 30s, she would still be able to have some influence. Her and her family will be able to tell my kids, this is what you need to do with your money. This, let me help you out. And then they would still be in her pocket. And my family's leaving, if they're leaving along, real estate and stuff, I don't want her to benefit from that in any way possible. So that's why I'm always an advocate of getting you a trust set up, and you establish your trust with specific directives where, hey, look, you all will get a certain amount of money every year, or every so often you'll get a certain amount just to wet your beak, enough for you to do some things in life with. And then once she passes away, y'all may be 60 or 70 when y'all about to get the remainder of my money. But once she passes away, then you'll get the bulk of the money. Because I'm just that petty. But the bottom line, too, is I'm protecting myself. If you wanted to leave and you wanted to explore, you're not going to go live your life and have fun off of my dime. And the same thing goes for this man right here, and goes for y'all. If your family has things and your family has good financials, you need to be talking with your families about setting up your monies and securing yourself. And I don't care if you're in a loving relationship right now and you think that your wife is the best thing since sliced bread, or you think that your husband is the best thing since sliced bread. Whatever, regardless of what your gender is, I don't care how much in love you are, you keep your own bank account, let that other person keep their own bank account. You can have a joint account that y'all maybe put money in to pay bills or whatever it is that y'all do to pay for common things. You can have one joint account, but the bulk of your money should be in your own separate account that they're not on. And then also, too, you should definitely have some trust set up, and also that you should ensure that your family and anything that you stand to inherit is shielded. And then, mind you, I can't tell you how to do that. You need to speak to a financial planner. You need to speak to, maybe a lawyer that deals in wills and trusts. You need to speak to someone who is an expert in this field. Take those particular steps, because this could be you, 65-year-old woman wanting to divorce her husband, but yet feels entitled to take his millions from him that his father worked to give him. Why didn't she mention anything about her father or her mother giving her anything? Oh, because she came from nothing, probably. I'm pretty sure she did. She came from nothing. She is nothing. And at 65 years of age, she's still nothing. All she is a parasite, leeching off of this man, trying to take his father's inheritance that came through from his family. And once again, this is regardless of gender. If you are a woman out here that is doing big things, or if you come from a great, well to do family and you are fooling around with some guy that comes from nothing, and you know that his family has nothing, financially they have nothing, I don't care how loving your relationship is. I don't care how much you think that he gives it to you good every night and you think he loves you. You need to protect yourself. Once again, go talk to a financial planner and tell them how you want your stuff set up, because you don't want anybody taking anything away from your family and shifting it to their family. So this is the Political Brown Kid. Just wanted to drop this message on you because this just came across my news feed. I'm out of here.